Last time you were in art, you finished coloring in your mandala using crayons and pressing down very hard. Today you are going to be painting the background of your mandala using ink. This ink is extremely permanent, so you want to make sure that you do not get it on your clothes or on your shoes. If you get it on your hands, that's okay. It will come off. You might just have to do the dishes tonight, and all that hot soapy water will help it to wash off of your hands. So the first thing you want to do when you're painting with ink is you want to dip your brush into the ink, and then you want to very gently scrape that ink off of the brush. You don't want to have drips flying everywhere. I would start by painting the edges of your paper first. And you can see that that crayon is pushing through the ink. That's how we know that we colored it, by pressing down hard enough. If you have puddles, like I see some parts of my artwork that are a little bit darker, if you have puddles, don't dip your brush back into the paint, just spread the ink around. You want to use up all of the ink that is already on your paper. If you get too much ink on your paper, it is going to make it really hard to smooth it out enough so that your designs will show through. When you're not using the paintbrush, if you're doing something else, make sure you leave that paintbrush flat on the newspaper at your table. Don't leave it in the ink container, because that's going to make it want to fall over. It'll make it more likely to have a spill. So I'm going to scrape that extra ink off so I don't have any drips, and then you can finish painting the rest of your paper. While we're doing this project, even if you are not at a table that is inking, I need for you to be calm and careful. So if somebody else in the room is using ink on their paper, you need to be calm and careful, because you never know who is right behind you with a container of ink or a piece of artwork that has ink on it. So now that I'm done painting, I'm going to put my brush back on the newspaper, and there are some parts where there are still dark puddles on my artwork, so I grabbed some paper towels from above the sink, and the next step would be to kind of smooth the paper towel onto the artwork and soak up any of those puddles. You don't want there to be any puddles of ink, number one, because it makes the design a little bit darker, but also number two, you don't want to walk around the room with artwork that is dripping ink everywhere. So it's kind of cool. I can see my design showing up on my paper towel. If there are any parts that you want to like polish up a little bit, maybe the ink didn't come all the way off, or you want it to be a little bit brighter, you can. I also kind of like the texture that you get when there's a little bit of ink sitting on the crayon. So it's up to you how much time you want to spend wiping away the extra ink with a paper towel. As soon as you're done painting your artwork with ink and drying off the extra ink, go ahead and let your teacher know, and they will let you know what the next step is in art today.